Now, just as a counter response, they might say, well, if you make abortion illegal, it won't stop all abortions. Some women are still going to seek out abortions. This is exactly what, and I brought up, the Red Letter Christian.org website. I mean, those articles just send me through the roof. But here's a couple of quotes. This is exactly what they're arguing. He says, I believe that abortion should not be a factor for Christians when assessing politicians and political parties. A compelling reason for this is that there is no evidence that restrictive laws and policies have any impact on reducing abortions. None. Okay, that's what he says. The research says that even if we made it illegal, it wouldn't stop abortions. He goes on to say, I hate abortion, but this is not the issue that should be mobilizing Christians when it comes time to vote. The belief that legislation will save unborn lives is misguided. Love, persuasion, and an environment of support will accomplish much more. Imagining that legislation will stop abortion is just wishful thinking. Oh, really? We'll see about that. Such legislation, were it to become law, would do more harm than good by pushing women to turn to unsafe, illegal abortions. If Christians are going to be politically engaged, let it be for issues that truly matter. What are those? For the well-being of those who are the most vulnerable and least advantaged. Wait a second, what does he just assume there? You know what I'm talking about? What has he assumed? That the unborn is not a human being that is most vulnerable and least advantaged. It's just, I wish we had 6 classes to go through this one article. In fact, just so you know, I went to a quote that they linked to on the one article, and the fact was completely taken out of context. In fact, I emailed the guy who wrote the article and said, I can't believe how dishonest you are in quoting this figure. In fact, I just copied and pasted the context, and it was unbelievable. So how do you respond? Before I get too angry up here. First, even if a law even if a law will not stop all abortions, that doesn't mean it won't stop most. Do laws against rape stop every single rape? Sadly, no, they don't. But that doesn't mean that we should legalize rape. Of course not. That's crazy. In fact, if we did legalize rape, then lawmakers would be giving the society permission to commit such an act, because that's what they do. When they legalize something, they're saying they're giving permission. The reality is that a law will never stop 100% of a crime being committed, but the law can be a deterrent. And the second thing is that laws can be used to guide or educate people in choosing the right decision. Just think about how the majority came to believe that slavery was wrong. It was started with a minority, and they fought to what? Change the law. And then when the law changed, society changed. And I mean, just think about the last 20 years with homosexuality. Where did they go first? Let's promote same-sex marriage. And now see where the culture's at. If you change the laws on things, you change the views of a culture. And so if we change the law on abortion, I guarantee that we would change the views in this culture. And here's just an example, okay? This is just one example. A law I sound like I'm saying Allah. I hope you guys aren't hearing that. A law would stop abortion, okay? Consider what happened in Poland. Poland's population right now is about 38 million people, which is actually pretty close to Canada, which has 34 million people. During the Iron Curtain, Poland was occupied by Russia, and at that time, Russia legalized state-funded abortion for the first 3 months of pregnancy. As a result, the abortion numbers from 1960 to 1985 are actually very similar to Canada. Canada, it's around 100,000, but you can see they kind of float, around, give or take, or more like give 50,000, okay? So here's the numbers. Now, in 1990, the Solidarity Independence Movement happened, and the influence of Pope John Paul actually had the number reduced to about half, okay? So you're around about 60,000 abortions per year. Now, in 1993, Poland actually banned all abortions except for ones that would save the mother's life, like really save her life, not life and health. Rape was an exception, and also a seriously malformed fetus. So they had three different exceptions. By 1998, that's 5 years after they had banned abortion, the number of recorded abortions was down to 253. 253. And they want to say in this article that laws don't do anything. In fact, they do more harm than good, apparently. So you're going from 150,000 all the way to 253. By the way, none were recorded, at least in that year, to have died from illegal abortions. Remember, that number was just going to skyrocket to the 10,000s. No, there was no women who died from illegal abortions in that year. So those are the facts. They speak for themselves. The law greatly restricted the number of abortions. On the reverse side, no law will lead to an increase in the number of abortions. For example, consider Roe v. Wade. Researchers estimate that on average, before Roe v. Wade, when they had a law, it was around 100,000 abortions. And then, in 1973, we looked at it, it was pretty much wide open, and guess what happened? The number skyrocketed, and it's about 1,200,000 abortions a year. You go from 100,000 that they guess, give or take, it fluctuated, all the way to over 1 million, okay? So when you get rid of your law, the numbers go up. When you have the law, the numbers go down. I mean, it's not rocket science, right?